Hey, what is going on, guys? RvzStealth here, and in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys my opinion on the best masteries that you're going to want to take on your AD carries for Season 6. So I've got 3 different mastery pages here, and it all depends on which AD carry you're playing as to which mastery page you want to take. There's only a slight difference between each of the pages, but I'm going to go over that difference and what AD carries you want to run each page on. So if you'd like to see a type of video like this for a different role or for a certain champion, then let me know in the comments below, guys. And if a certain role or champion gets a lot of upvotes, or if a lot of people want to see it, then I may make a video for that as well. So with that being said, let's get into the video. So this first page here is the one I'm going to be running on my strong early game AD carries. The reason why I'm running this on strong early game AD carries is because I've got the Fervor of Battle here instead of the Warlord's Bloodlust or the Deathfire Torch. Fervor of Battle, it grants you bonus attack damage whenever you are auto attacking an enemy champion or a minion, and you can stack this up and get a lot of bonus attack damage in the laning phase. So this is really good on your strong early game AD carries, like I said before, someone like a Graves or a Lucian, because you want to be going for kills as them in the laning phase because they are very bursty AD carries. So taking this instead of the Warlord's Bloodlust and the Deathfire Torch is what I am doing right now. So between Fury and Sorcery here, you pretty much want to take Fury on all of your AD carries, except for Sorcery you might want to take on someone like Corki or Varus because it increases their spell damage. But if you're playing like an auto attack based AD carry, then taking the Fury here is definitely going to be more worth it. And Feast, I'm going to be taking Feast instead of Double-Edged Sword. The reason behind this is because Feast or Double-Edged Sword, it gives you a bonus 2% attack damage, or it gives you a bonus 2% damage. But I've calculated that out, and if you have like 400 damage as an AD carry, you're only going to be dealing an extra 8 damage on top of your 400. So I really don't think this is too worth it, considering that you're going to be taking an extra 2% damage from every single enemy champion on the enemy team. So I think that taking the Feast is going to be more worth it here for just the laning phase. You're going to be able to sustain up better, and I don't think that taking the extra damage is a good trade-off for dealing the extra damage unless you were playing a really safe AD carry like an Ezreal or someone who's got a gap closer like a Corki. Taking the Double-Edged Sword might be better here, but if you're playing a short-ranged AD carry, or if you're playing an AD carry who isn't mobile, then taking Double-Edged Sword probably isn't the better choice. And I'm going to be taking Natural Talent instead of Vampirism. The reason behind this is 2% lifesteal on Spell Vamp really isn't all that much at all, and getting the bonus attack damage is always nice. It's really not that much either, but I do think that it is more worth it than just getting that little bit of lifesteal. Now, I'm going to be taking Bounty Hunter here on most of my AD carries, but you can definitely switch up Bounty Hunter and Oppressor depending on the lane you are in. If you are with a support who's got really strong CC, or if you're playing an AD carry like Jinx who has pretty good CC in her kit, then taking Oppressor might be the better option. But once you get to the mid to late game, Bounty Hunter is probably going to be more worth it because you're going to be able to get up to 5% increased damage if you kill each of the enemy champions once, so that's pretty good. If you are, like I said before, playing a good CC bot lane, then taking Oppressor is probably the better option, but if not, then taking Bounty Hunter is probably the safer choice here. Now I'm going to be taking the Battering Blows instead of the Piercing Thoughts. This is kind of self-explanatory, like you want the armor penetration when you're playing as AD carry as opposed to the magic penetration. And then the Fervor of Battle here, I already went over why you want to take that on your strong early game AD carries. And next up here, I'm going to be taking 12 points in Resolve and 0 points in Cunning. I really don't think that the Masteries in Cunning are very good for an AD carry. The Wanderer here, it gives you 3% bonus movement speed while out of combat. If you put 5 points in that, and that's not really, you're not going to really benefit that out of that too much when playing as AD carry. That's more of a roaming support mastery. And then the Savagery here, it gives you bonus attack damage to minions and monsters, which really isn't all that great unless you're really bad at CSing. This is more of like a jungle mastery, so I would stay away from the Cunning tree here, and I would just go for 12 points in Resolve. So I'm taking the 5 points in Unyielding here. It'll grant you plus 6% bonus armor and magic resist. And then I am taking the Tough Skin here. it allows you to take 2 less damage from champion and monster basic attacks. And then I'm taking the Runic's armor here. If I'm reading this correctly, it grants you 8% bonus lifesteal. I'm not too sure if that's what it actually means, but it says plus 8% bonus to all shields and healing on you, and it says it includes lifesteal and regeneration. So I think what that means is once you get like a lifesteal item, say if you have like 10% lifesteal, then it's going to add a bonus 8% onto that. So that's pretty good. It's definitely going to increase your lifesteal by a solid amount. And I do think that this is going to be more worth it than taking the veteran scars, because the veteran scars, I calculated it out, and if you put 5 points in it, let's just see here, if you put 5 points, it gives you plus 4% health. And I calculated it to where if you're playing an AD carry with 500 health, it's only going to give you a bonus like 20 health at the start of the game. So I really don't think that this mastery here is worth it. I think that the Runic armor is a much better mastery to choose. And then I'm taking the insight here instead of the perseverance, because it's always nice to have the your summer spells up when you're playing as AD carry, because you want your heal up and you want your flash up to be able to escape if you get engaged on. So my next page here is the page I'm going to be taking on my crit based or my late game, my crit based AD carries for the most part. And the only difference here between these two pages is I'm taking the Warlord's Bloodlust instead of the Fervor of Battle. And the reason behind this is because the Warlord's Bloodlust, whenever you critically strike, you heal for 15% of the damage dealt, and you also get 20% attack speed for 4 seconds. So this is a really good mastery on any AD carry that you are planning to build crit on. If you are playing someone like a Jinx, or if you're playing a Vayne, any AD carry that's going to be benefiting from crit, then I would definitely recommend taking this mastery, because it's just going to keep you really healthy, and it's also going to grant you the bonus 20% attack speed. So this is a really good page to run. If you're just looking for one page to run on all of your AD carries, then I would definitely recommend choosing this one. And then all of the other masteries here are the same as the last page. And then the final page that I have, this one is more for Corki only, or it's more for like Corki and Varus. Those are pretty much the two, maybe Ezreal as well. Any AD caster, AD carry is what I would, are the AD carries that I would run this page on, because I would take 5 points in sorcery instead of 5 points in fury, because if you're running an AD caster, they're probably not going to be using their auto attacks very much. Like Ezreal uses his Q for most of his damage. Varus, he uses his Q for a lot of his damage, and Corki also uses his he's more of a bursty AD carry, so taking sorcery here on those champions is going to be more worth it than taking the fury. And then I'm also taking the Deathfire Torch here instead of the Fervor of Battle or the Warlord's Bloodlust. And the reason behind this is because it says your damaging abilities cause enemy champions to take 6 plus 50% of your bonus attack damage and 20% of your ability power in magic damage over 3 seconds. So this is really good if you're playing someone like Corki, or if you're playing someone like Varus, any champion or any AD carry that uses a lot of spells and uses poke abilities. So that is all for the video, guys. Those are the 3 pages that I am going to be running on my AD carries right now. This is the page that I would think is the page that you would want to run on most of your AD carries. Like if you just want one page and you don't want to deal with extra pages, then I would recommend taking this page. Take this page if you're playing like Corki or Varus, and then take this page right here if you're playing a strong early game AD carry like a Graves or a Lucian. So that is all for the video, guys. If you enjoyed, then be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know as well in the comments below if you'd like to see one of these videos for a different champion or for a different role. So thanks for watching, guys. Have an awesome day, and I'll see you in my next video.